Guys, for this video I have the brand new Hobbywing Z-Run Axe system for crawlers. Now before I open this, I want to give a big thanks to Sean Larmond, Jack's RC Recycle and Repair, for loaning me this for this review, the driving test, and the video you're about to see. Alright, it's time to open this box. Let's see here. You get the familiar boxes you're used to seeing from Hobbywing. Your Axe ESC 60 amps, 2300 kV motor. Now let's open up some more boxes. So first let's open up the motor. Or at least open the box that the motor is in. And there we are. Alright. Axe 540, 2300 kV. This proprietary plug right here. Now it looks very well made. I don't think it's going to break or any of that stuff, at least not initially. Looks like a fairly well built motor, and most of the Hobbywing motors are built pretty good. I've had some good luck with them. Now let's get on to that ESC. One of the things that I like about this is it's supposed to be about the same size as the 1080 ESC. And it appears that it is. Which means it's relatively small. It can fit a lot of places. Boy, they sure do package these things good. Let's see. There we go. Alright, hey, look at that. It comes with an XT60 plug. Sean will like that. That's his plug of choice. So there it is, and yeah, it looks fairly compact. It looks to be smaller than the Castle Mamba X. So the ESC is actually pretty nice. It's got some nice features on it, like the BEC is 6 volt or 7.4 volt, 3 amps. It's 60 amps, 360 amps peak. You can see the BEC right there, 2 to 3S LiPo. It has the field-oriented control, which means that the motor, to work with this, it has to have a chipped magnetic encoder inside of it. This lets the ESC know exactly where the rotor is. So cogging should be virtually eliminated with this. So I'm kind of curious to get this thing in the truck, get some wires soldered up on it, and actually see how it does in the vehicle. I'm about to take this thing out and give it a good test run in the Axial. I've painted the spur gear and pinion gear so I can actually show you guys the rotation of the pinion gear, because I think it's going to look kind of neat. And we're going to just go see how this thing drives. I'm out in my backyard. I've got a big old pile of concrete here, and we're going to test this Axe system. Now, one thing I'm doing here is I'm also testing the BEC. The BEC claims it's 3 amps. I've got it up to 7.4 volts through the settings. By the way, the Bluetooth link is pretty darn good. So I've got it up to 7.4. There is no BEC, and the servo is a high-tech 7950 servo. So let's see if we have any brownouts. The noise you're hearing is the servo, because the Axe system is almost completely quiet. Really impressive, actually. And the Axe system is actually adding torque to the motor. I'm not really moving the trigger for this. See that tire underneath there? That is where, if you have plastic wheels, you're probably going to have an issue, because this system will just keep driving. Is it going to make it? It's trying. A little bit of steering. And it made it. No throttle input. Now it is actually stalling the system. That is full stall on the Axe system right there. Really impressive. Looks like I'm gonna have to give it a little bit of throttle here. Let's see. Steer. That is impressive, guys. I mean, really it is. A little bit more throttle. We don't want to sit here for an hour and a half. I don't. One of the issues with any system is, as you reach the breakover point, sometimes it has a tendency to run away from you. That was all ESC control right there. That was impressive. Okay, I'm going one at a time here. See how slow we can make that thing turn. That's it. That is pretty darn slow. And it's completely quiet. I absolutely cannot complain. I mean, that is pretty neat looking. So this Axe ESC and motor held up really good. Super quiet. It also, the internal BEC held up to the 7950 high-tech. That was pretty amazing. So now, I know some of you guys really want to crawl. I mean, really super slow. So let's go ahead and put this into the TRX4 and see how it does. Well, I got it in. It is a wiring mess again, as usual. But the Axe system is in the truck. So, and it has a 10-tooth pinion gear. This is the same pinion gear that I run with a 3800 kV on 3S. And I'm running a 2S on this one. So this thing should be really slow compared to how I normally like to drive it. Let's get this thing out and see what it's got. Notice how quiet everything is. The Three Brothers RC servo is super quiet. The Hobbywing system is quiet. Beautiful. Ooh. I'm actually liking how the ESC ramps up the torque, because things like this no longer require me to give more throttle. It's actually nicer than I thought it would be. Now to simulate a larger pinion, I've got it in second gear. That is second gear, guys. First gear. That's pretty darn slow. Still second gear. In second gear, there is some slop in the Traxxas transmission, so that's probably what you're seeing. Now let's see if it's got some punch. Very controlled. In first gear, 2S, that's it. That's all I have. That is horribly slow compared to what I'm used to. Then we go into second gear. That's it. This thing should be doing donuts right now. Now on 3S, the speed picks up a little bit, as you would expect. And the takeoff is nice and smooth, but my only issue that I'm still having is it really does not have the instant punch that I'm used to. It just kind of takes off nice and smoothly. It doesn't just pop a wheelie and take off like I'm used to. So to learn this, I would actually have to spend some time to get used to the different launching of this ESC and motor combination. Not that it's lacking, it's just doesn't have the bottom top that I'm used to seeing. But overall, the system runs pretty darn good. So guys, that was a Hobbywing Axe Crawler system with the 2300 kV motor. I went into this test not expecting a whole lot, and I'm happy to say it performed way better than I thought. The ramp up feature isn't as violent as I thought it would be. It's actually very tame, and it really done good. It was super quiet. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw that with the Traxxas TRX4. Absolutely quiet, especially when paired with the Three Brothers RC G13 servo. Super quiet. The only thing you could hear was nature and the vehicle itself. No motor whining or any of that. So I was actually very pleased with that. So the motor is really smooth. The startup RPMs could be a little lower, but as you guys saw, this thing will crawl. This thing will absolutely crawl. For me to spend my money and buy this for myself, there's a couple things I need to see. Number one, I need to see the startup, because this thing has like a ramp startup, a soft start. When I punch the trigger, I want this thing to jump. This one doesn't. So this may actually be able to tame a trigger happy driver. So if you have a trigger happy finger, you like to punch that thing and make it go, this may actually tame you a little bit and make you into a better driver. Maybe. Who knows? But, and another thing that I want to see before I spend my money is a higher kV motor. I like my vehicles run a little bit faster. So 2300 kV doesn't really get it for me with the Axial or the TRX. So I wanted to see something in the low 3000 range, 3300 kV, something like that. That would be nice. So if they could get the startup right and a higher kV motor, I'll throw money at a Hobbywing system for one of my scalers. Absolutely. Guys, I hope I covered all the bright spots of the system. Man, I didn't get too in depth because that information is already out there. So hopefully you guys saw the system, you saw how it ran in 2 different vehicles, and one vehicle with a 2-speed transmission. So 3S and 2S operation. So the system is pretty good. It's just not quite right for me at this point in time. So hopefully you guys liked the video. Like, subscribe, share. And again, thank you guys for watching.